If I remember right, a pregnant woman gave birth and yes! Oh my God, you're right. I forgot about that. She's like in the driver's seat and she gives birth in the seat. And then she's
previously on Dalton Paul Live.
Hey Dalton, what is your favorite movie? Mine's Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Children of Men probably is, it's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite movies. They do like a continuous tracking shot that's like 8 or 9 minutes long. Amazing cinematography. I'm hitting him and it wasn't making any impact sound. I dare you to watch the Human Centipede trilogy. I've seen the first two. I was actually just talking about that with my brother the last I saw him. I actually like the first one. I think it's mostly mental. It's like, okay, you know that they're sewn ass to mouth and the guy's shitting, but you don't really see anything. And like the girl has to eat his shit, whatever. It's like, yeah, that's gross, but it's mostly mental. It's not so much that you see it. It's not like Saw or something where you see the gore and you see the grossness. Because it's surgical, they're perfectly attached. But the second one, as far as like just nastiness, is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. You've seen 1 and 2?
Ladies and gentlemen, Scotty Slasher!
Dalton Paul videos is cool.
Scotty, how do you feel about 2? Because I feel like the second one makes the first one look like fucking Sesame Street. The second one is super fucked up.
Wow.
You think the MCU is declining? Brother, I don't give a shit about the MCU. I haven't watched any of those movies since the first Avengers. 2 was nasty. Yeah, it was disgusting. I think they banned it in England. 3 has some comedy to it because they're all convicts that bully the warden and the warden sterilizes them and cooks and eats their balls. Shing! I'll provide my own sound effects, bitch. Jesus. That actually made me jump, Jesus. I don't watch horror that much, but I despise the Human Centipede. What is the movie even about? 3 people get sewn ass to mouth. So they're like on all fours. And there's like a Japanese guy in the front and 2 chicks behind him. And he sews their mouth to the guy's ass. And then the other chick, he sews her mouth to the other chick's ass. So that like you feed the Japanese guy and then he shits into the mouth of the first woman. And then she digests his shit. And then she shits out of her ass into the mouth of the last woman, and then she digests that, and then shits it out. The first I heard about Human Centipede was when Tosh.0 first came out, and he was just summing up the movie on his show, and he was telling the audience about it, and I was like, I gotta fucking watch this, and then I did. It actually happens IRL to a certain rodent. The mother attaches their babies to her ass and guides them around because they're blind. Wow. Who knew I'd learn something today? Like, what's the point of sewing people from ass to mouth? What is the story behind why it is happening? I guess they're vacationing in Germany, and there's this crazy German surgeon who always wanted to create a human centipede. He thought it would be like the perfect challenge for his surgical skill or some shit. So he kidnaps the girls, and he already had kidnapped the Japanese guy, and then he puts them under, and he performs the surgery and creates the human centipede. From my recollection, it's been a few years since I've seen it. Newsflash, chodes, I'm now partnered with Dubby Energy. Dubby is your taste buds' favorite energy drink with over 15 flavors to choose from. Dubby has 0 sugar, 0 calories, and 0 jitters. Check them out at dubby.gg and be sure to use promo code DaltonPaul for 10% off your order. Link is in the description, and big thanks to Dubby for partnering with the channel. Well, the doctor was known for separating Siamese twins, and he wanted to make a Siamese triplet, aka the human centipede. Okay, yeah, I forgot about that aspect. I forgot that he separated Siamese twins. And then the second one is as if there's a crazy, like mentally ill man who watched the first movie. So it's supposed to take place in like real life. He watched the first movie and wanted to recreate it himself.
It's a film! The human centipede's a film!
He even kidnaps one of the actresses from the first movie, and he creates one that's longer, but he has no surgical skill, so he's like stapling them together, and it's really gory and disgusting. And then he like gives them some sort of diuretic so that they will shit, because they're like, the first guy won't shit. And then eventually it's just like diarrhea, like blasting out of the mouths that are stapled to the ass of like the first few people. And then he wraps his dick in barbed wire and fucks it at some point. And there's a lot of other shit in the movie. Like, that's scraping the surface. There's a lot of shit in that movie that's just like, wow, that is fucked the fuck up. Whoa, I don't remember that. Yeah, he does. I remember he wraps his dick in barbed wire and he fucks the end of it. Like the last person on the chain. So that's probably the most disgusting movie I've ever seen. Stapled together? Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Shing! Splat! If I remember right, a pregnant woman gave birth and... Yes! Oh my god, you're right. I forgot about that. A pregnant woman gave birth and crushed the head of the fetus trying to drive away from him. Oh my god, yes, she's on the seat. She's like in the driver's seat and she gives birth in the seat and then she slams on the gas pedal and it crushes the fetus. It is so bad. It is so fucking bad, dude. I forgot about that. I saw it when it first came out, like 2012 or something. And I remember thinking like, this is really fucking bad. If I could erase one movie from existence, it would be The Human Centipede. You said you haven't seen it though? I tell you, the first one isn't that bad. The first one is almost funny. It's almost like comedic in ways. He tries to train it like a dog and like fetches paper. You know, it's like, wow, that's fucked up, but kind of funny, I guess. But the second one is like, there is no humor to be found. You. Ryden says, I think they also turn their ass inside out and shove it down the other person's throat. God. What's the ending of Human Centipede? I haven't seen it because I vowed myself that I would never ever see that movie. The German doctor, does he have like a heart attack or something? And then the Japanese guy just like slits his own throat. And then the women are just attached to a dead dude. And they can't do anything about it and the movie ends. If I recall correctly. The doctor is killed by investigators. The girl's in the middle. The girl in the middle is the only survivor. Yeah, the other girl gets sick, right? She gets sick. That's a wild movie. Gotta give that a watch. I own it. I have it on DVD. Also in the second movie, the actress feeds the fat guy his pet centipede, but none of the victims survived. I don't remember that. I remember a really fucked up thing with like his mother. I'm pretty sure if I watched it, I would be scarred for the rest of my life. I'm all down for horror, but not that kind of horror. Yeah, well, if it's not your cup of tea, just don't watch it. How would Human Centipede be anyone's cup of tea? Like I said, I liked the first one. The first one is like kind of funny. It's like, you know, you get some people to watch it with you and they're like grossed out, but you don't really, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just the thought. It's just the thought of being sewn to someone's ass and then having someone else sewn to your ass. It's fucked up, but it's like also kind of funny in like a, can you imagine kind of way? But then the second one just goes way too far, and I haven't seen the third. Like every movie, they ramp it up. First one is 3 people, second one is 12, and the third movie I think had 300 people sewn together. Like I saw the poster for the third one, and I was like, they made a third one, and I saw it was a prison. I'm like, that's ridiculous, and it was like hundreds of people. A series I actually enjoy is Saw. I've been wanting to review the Saw movies since 2017. Like Jigsaw was coming out, and I wanted to review the existing Saw movies and then Jigsaw, and it just never happened. They keep making more movies, and each one sucks harder than the last. I get confused by the Saw timeline. The movies seem to jump around. They do jump around. And like apparently, from what I understand, like the reason it jumped around so much, like the way they filmed and edited the first one, which became a staple of the series, was because it was pretty low budget. So like they only had like certain sets for so long. So they're like, fuck it, let's like jump between it. So it seems like there's more scenes, you know, so it's just not like linear or whatever. I think that was because it was like fairly low budget, the first one. I like the majority of them. There's some really decent like detective work, and like once you get to like 4, 5, 6, there's some cool detective kind of stuff, like where they're like on the trail of Jigsaw or who the new Jigsaw is or whatever. Gotcha. Yeah, you're next. Stop it. Thoughts on Spiral? Holy shit, don't get me started, dude. First of all, why did Chris Rock want to be involved? He wrote it, I think, or like he wrote part of it. This comedy actor all of a sudden wants to write and star in a Saw movie? why? And then they delayed it a few times because of COVID and shit. And then I finally watched it and I'm like, what a fucking pile of shit. Did Sam Jackson also write it? I know he would, you know, I saw it. Samuel Jackson's like, what, his dad or something? Used to be on the police force. And it's just like, this thing sucks, dude. Jigsaw wasn't any good either. I don't remember the twist in Jigsaw, but I remember being like, well, that's dog shit. I don't think he wrote it, but he was in it. I'm pretty sure Chris Rock had like a writing credit. Like he wanted to take on the project and like basically make Black Saw. It wasn't very good in my opinion. Oh, damn it. That fucking actually scared me, you sons of bitches. No, please don't stitch my asshole. Don't do it. Shout out to my patron, Truppexus. If you'd also like to support my YouTube channel, check out the link to my Patreon page in the description. Thanks for watching.